Hello everybody, my name is Raccoon Bro VA and welcome back to another reaction video. Man, I gotta tell you, it's another Smash Bracket one, and this is a matchup I've been looking forward to for a good long while. And if you guys have seen my previous Death Battle reviews, you'll know that I love Balrog versus TJ combo. There is something about the boxing setting and the aesthetic that just really makes for great choreography and good storytelling, and we're finally going to be getting the Smash Bros version of that here with Lil Mac, a straightforward boxer, and Min Min, a more out of the box boxer, for lack of a better term. And I think this has a ton of potential to be really cool and tell a really fun story, so let's get into the mayhem.
Who would win in a fight between two of Nintendo's best fighters, Little Mac and Min Min? I'm Ink, and this is Smash Bracket, the show where we put
I do like the sprites so far.
Into a giant animated
good
fighting
start.
tournament to figure out who's canonically the strongest. And to figure that out, we got to start with our first fighter.
I still think Duck Hunt versus Ice Climbers is pretty underrated.
7 pounds and 4 feet 8 inches tall, the Bruiser from the Bronx, Little Mac.
Make sure to comment if you're taller than Little Mac.
I don't think anybody works harder than me, so I'm a very hard-working fighter. I'm probably one of the hardest working fighters of this generation.
Little Mac has come
That's
to be
a fun
known
one.
as the Bruiser from the Bronx.
This is a fun commercial.
For as long as he could remember, Mac wanted to be a top-level boxer in the World Video Boxing Association.
We're gonna get a Punch-Out
Unfortunately,
movie,
with his
just
small
you wait.
stature, he was starting from a severe
I
disadvantage.
don't know if it'll be
He spent
animated or
years
not,
looking to
but
make a name for himself, but
it's
no
one of the
matter
few
how
video
many
game films
fights he
that could
did,
work
he
as a
got beaten
live-action
down
film.
Time and time again. Eventually taking so many losses that a promoter told him to throw in the towel altogether.
Aw.
He was born a loser from the Bronx, he would always be a loser from the Bronx, and he didn't have what it takes to be a real boxer. Fortunately for Little Mac, after this harsh rejection, it wouldn't be long until he met somebody who would change his life forever.
Doc!
The previous heavyweight world champion, Doc Lewis. Through all the bruises and defeats, Doc saw the heart of a champion within Mac and took him in as his protege. Under Doc's guidance, Mac began one of the toughest training regimens ever.
Oh, it's so iconic.
Practicing for days and days on end with almost no sleep. Eventually, though, the time for training had passed, and Mac was finally ready to test his skills against a real boxer, a Frenchman who called himself Glass Joe. They battled it out, and for the first
real
time, Mac
boxer
actually won. But he had a long way to go if he was going to be champion. So he continued to hone his skills to face off against the world's best fighters, never losing hope along the way. And these weren't your average boxers either. For example, take the fighter named Great Tiger. He had the ability to teleport around the ring and create after images to mess with his opponents while fighting.
Yeah, don't question
Mac
it.
had no trouble taking him out despite this. Maybe due to the fact that he's so fast that he's moving his arms to block attacks at nearly 30 miles per hour.
Oh, wow.
Great Tiger was far from his only skilled opponent, too. Take Mr. Sandman, who was strong enough to break a stone wall with almost no effort. Or Don Flamenco, who punched this bull nearly 1,500 feet into the air.
Get out of here,
This
baby.
goes without saying, but he would have had to been hitting with some serious power here. Hundreds and hundreds of times stronger than even the most powerful real-life boxer.
Don't underestimate this
Which,
little boy.
I guess might be obvious by the distinct lack
Mike
of
Tyson.
boxers punching bulls into the air with their fists.
Yeah.
When adjusting for the surface area of a boxing glove, this punch comes out to about 4.75 kilojoules per centimeter squared. To put that number into perspective, that's like a gram of TNT being detonated across every square centimeter of your face with each attack. Little Mac's able to take this damage and dish out similar amounts of damage with his strongest attack, the Star Punch.
Yeah.
With this, he was able to knock out Bald Bull in a single attack, who's tough enough to withstand the charge of a raging bull. There
naturally.
are a surprising number of bull-related feats in this franchise.
I balled the
To
ball
gain
from
access to this
Istanbul.
max-powered Star Punch, all Mac needs to do is land 3 regular hits in a row without being hit himself. Mac doesn't just pack power, but he also mixes it with some serious speed. Mac is able to enhance his perception and movement to a level so fast that the world seems slowed down in comparison. Taking a look at this scene, we can measure slowed down time against the distance that Mac's punch covers. The punch itself comes out in only 2 frames, making this attack speed nearly 33 miles per hour.
Okay.
Mac makes full use of this speed with his signature strategy of looking for an
Fair
opening
enough.
in his opponent's defenses and then closing the gap to punish their mistakes, which is even easier with his super mode that allows his punches to come out at 6 miles per hour. Well, that's disappointing. All right. What makes Mac a
Not
true
gonna be
threat, though, isn't his
lighting any
strength,
records with
speed,
that
or
one.
durability. Mac is constantly learning from and adapting to his opponents. It's hard to emphasize just how good Mac became. In this comic, Mac was tasked with running around the entire city while also fighting off 100 men trying to take him down.
Whoa.
Before they began cheating and Doc Lewis had to run them down with a truck. Oh gosh, I love him so much. Mac was actually doing super
Doc Lewis
well.
is a
He was on
homie.
track to beat all of them and finish the race. Not only this, but Mac went on to win the entire WVBA championship time and time again. And he even took out the scariest video game character of all time,
Donkey Kong.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike
Not only did
Tyson.
Mac win his first WVBA championship, but he defended that title over and over, becoming a legendary boxer with a win streak like no one had ever seen in the WVBA. In fact, he was so good that when it became time to retire, he
could
decided
cut
that he wanted
glass
to
with
go
that
out
jaw.
with one last big bang. So he gloved up, took to the ring, and fought through 14 different opponents back to back with almost no break in between.
Damn.
13 of these fighters were opponents that he'd faced off before, but the last one was freaking Donkey Kong, which I'm surprised was legal. It feels like one step removed from the fight in the Roman Colosseum. And while this isn't the moon-punching version of the character we all know and love,
Yeah, I had a feeling the canonicity is pretty questionable, or they're outside of his standard moveset within the match. Okay.
a human beating an ape in combat is still really impressive. But anyway, all 13 of his opponents had advanced their skills and changed up their patterns,
I
telegraphing
still can't believe that was originally going to be Princess Peach. Like, that would have been off. That would have been a terrible idea.
far less and adding new moves to their repertoire. But Max still took them out. Not only did he defend his title one last time against these fighters, but he was also able to surpass his teacher and take out the former heavyweight
Ooh.
champion himself, Doc
Aw.
Lewis. Max started off as a scrawny teen who couldn't beat a single opponent, but through sheer grit rose through the ranks to prove that he was truly
Like, that
worthy
right there
of
is
being
true
the
anime
champ. But he
determination.
never let that fame go to his head. Once he even donated all of his winnings to his opponents so that they could build new schools in their home country.
Aw.
Though his time in the ring was brief, Little Mac's legacy would go on to influence the WVBA for generations to come. But for those who really knew him, it wouldn't be the championship belt that they remembered. They'd
Yeah.
see him for what he truly was. The scrappy underdog who fought against all odds time and time again and refused to give up no matter how many times he got punched out.
Punch out.
Once upon a time, life across
Oh,
the planet
I-
developed a strange
I'm looking forward to
genetic
this one because
mutation
I don't know
that
too much
caused
about
their
Min
bodies to
Min.
extend to unnatural
God, this
lengths.
movie.
bizarre phenomenon
Why
occurred
this
in
movie?
plants, animals, and most notably, humans, affecting over 20% of the world's population. It
My
usually
quality changed
manifested
here.
itself during teenage years in the middle of the night, and while it could manifest in a few different ways,
Yeah.
the most common effect of this mutation was 35-foot extendable corkscrew arms.
I
And this
love
quirk
the
was
character
almost
designs in this
uncontrollable
game
to
so
its host.
much.
That is until an organization called the Arms Labs developed a mask that allowed the carriers to control their abilities to a precise degree.
It is
and
so
the same company
cool.
that provided these masks to the populace also did what any charitable organization would do. Launch a fighting
The fighting
competition that
tournament!
allows the mutants to punch each other in the face for the rest of the world's enjoyment. And thus the Arms League was born. It was a great equalizer
Interesting lore.
across the planet. By fighting to the top,
Kinda like
anyone with
Quirks,
enough
but like
skill
its
could be
own
declared the Arms champion
interesting
and
spin on it.
guarantee a life of fame and riches. Many people with the Arms ability went to try out for the league, but only the best 600 were selected to compete. And among these 600 fighters, only one could become the champion. And one of these fighters
champ.
rose uniquely above the rest. Meet
Min
Min Min, the
Min.
Mandarin-speaking ramen bomber. Min Min specializes in hitting, throwing, and kicking her opponents to deal damage and deflect incoming strikes.
Goodbye.
She can launch her attacks at over 14 miles per hour, but with the assistance of her special Rush Mode ability, she can increase her combat speed to up to 70 miles per hour. And this speed allows Min Min to make full use of her extendable arms. She can attach custom weapons to each arm and change between them on the fly. She has a bunch of different weapons at her disposal, but when she
Not
entered the
limited to
league,
just the
she
Smash
came in with her
moveset.
preferred ones. Let's start with her most iconic, the dragon.
course.
This weapon can not only punch you in the face, but it can also
Ooh,
shoot
stupid
devastating lasers
dragon!
at you. The Ram Ram, on the other hand, can be launched like a boomerang to hit her opponents from unexpected angles. And her most powerful arm of all is the Megawatt, which essentially is an electricity-infused
Very
wrecking ball. Her
fun
arms
and
are strong
confusing
enough
way
shatter
to
this huge
measure
slab of concrete
things
in
in
just one
versus
hit. We can adjust for the
settings.
surface area of her pointiest arms that this is possible with to show that Min Min would need to be hitting with around 1,500 kilojoules per centimeter squared. To put that in perspective, that's 90% the caloric energy stored within a pie. What are
Oh.
these analogies? Gosh. To put that in perspective, that's like slamming you with over half a pound of TNT with each hit. And Min Min is more than capable of taking comparable attacks and remaining standing.
I forgot
That's not
what
to
the
say
measurement
she's
was already
impervious,
for
though.
Lil
She
Max
does have two
when he said
notable
kilojoules.
weaknesses. First off, 3 powerful hits to her arm can disable them for a few seconds, causing them to fall limp to the ground and leaving her wide open. Her second weakness, and most deadly of all, was only discovered after some covert arms lab research. Min Min's kryptonite is long bads.
Oh, get
Because it makes her arms soggy.
Get this outta here. Go
I
away.
guess if she's fighting the crocodile from Where's My Water, she'd better be on high alert.
Aw, I love that
wanna move
game.
on from this. In some tellings of the ARMS story,
Eating
Min Min was
sugar?
able to rise
No
to the
pia
very
pia.
top of the competition, fighting through every other competitor and
Telling the
cementing
lies.
herself as
No
the greatest
pia pia.
fighter in the league, to bring fame and glory to the power of ramen. Anyway, now
Nice.
that both of our fighters are set, it's time to get into our fight. But first, I'd like to urge you to check out our Patreon
Wow, that was-
for behind-the-scenes
that was
looks at our battles,
short.
music, and works in progress.
Honestly,
Several of our
I'm
scripts
surprised
have to
it
be
was any
significantly
longer,
cut down for the sake of
considering
length
it's
of the
only one
animation.
game.
And if you want to see those there, feel free to check it out. All tiers receive the same rewards, so just pay what you're able.
What did he say?
Several of our scripts have to be significantly cut down for the sake of same rewards, so just pay what you're able to.
By the
and
way,
the
my
world of
guess for the
content
next
will open up
time
to you.
is
With
Dark
that
Pit
out of the
versus Dark
way,
Samus.
Let's get into the fight and figure out
Seems
who
like
will
it's
advance on to
time.
the next round of the Smash bracket and who
But
will be eliminated.
I
Let's get
think
into it.
I'll probably go with Lil Mac because he has a bit more experience when it comes to like crazy fighters, and it also seems like he might be a bit faster and have more strength feats to pull from. So that's who I'll go with.
Here for his very first fight, hailing from the Bronx, comes our very first challenger.
Another fight. I've got this. No
The
sweat. No
bruiser
sweat.
from the Bronx, Little Mac.
All right.
And on the other side, we have our reigning champion, Min Min of the Nintendo Noodle House.
好的，让我们开始吧，集中精神。
I like that they got a Mandarin speaking voice actress.
Listen up. Yeah, this might be her turf. This might be her cry.
I've seen this sneak peek before, and I really like how the opening is starting out.
It's gonna be your belt. Show 'em what you got, Mac, baby.
Yeah! Woo, the music too. Nice use of the smash moveset there. Up smash. Woo! And I like the star punch sound effects there too. Nice. Alright, so far, the impact is pretty good so far.
他的速度比我的燃料的快得多，我得加把劲儿。
Round 2!
You got it, Doc.
That's my little Mac.
Show 'em what you got! Woo! None but that.
你的能力就这么有限
Uh-oh.
吗？据说你是世界冠军。
Ooh, getting a little cocky, are we?
Gonna stop fighting soon.
I will say I did audition for Lil Mac, and that is a very fun voice to do. Come on, what you got? Show 'em what you got. I thought you were supposed to be the world champ or something. Ooh. Nice. Oh my god. Ah, I will say her range with the weapons could give her an advantage here. Woo! Come on. I think Lil Mac is just scrappy enough to get through though. Bring it on! Hit him, baby!
That girl's gonna kill me out there. I can't understand a thing she's saying neither.
Yep.
I don't think it's.
Listen, son. Yeah, she hit you good. you're just like those arms of hers. No matter how many times you get punched out, you always spring right back into action.
Yeah.
Yowza, that guy sure is tough.
我
Hey,
做
Biff.
梦也没想到，观众居然支持他，我真是让我的粉丝们失望。
Yeah, he's got bite to him, but you're one tough noodle yourself. Remember what your mom used to say?
It's ramen time.
Hey.
Hear that crowd?
That Biff voice sounded really close
You're
to the
taking
original, by the
home
way.
field and stealing it like it's home plate. Just a few more good hits, and it'll be sayonara.
Yeah. You got it, Doc.
That's Japanese for goodbye.
Hey,
Time to make the Bronx proud.
best fighter win.
Yeah, let's give him a good show.
Wait, you can speak English?
That right there is a power play. That's just. Sometimes it's fun to flex being bilingual. I can't though. I don't know any other languages. I would if I could. Uh-oh. That's not allowed. This is a boxing match. The music's popping off here too. She just turned into Dark Samus. Come on! Oh my god. Min Min! Oh my gosh, I did not expect that. Alright, you know what? Color me
And
surprised.
there you go. In a series that's been full of some intense, high-stake fights, it was really nice to have something more grounded this time around. Both fighters brought some
true.
advantages to the table, but this was a clear-cut victory for Min Min.
Oh man.
Little Mac's a master of boxing under the WVBA rules, but Min Min brought a challenge to the table that Mac just wasn't prepared to deal with. Not only was
yeah,
she
I'll
mixing
take
things
the
up
L on
with
that
grabs,
one.
kicks, and lethal weaponry, but she also managed to maintain a serious stat advantage. Let's start with a relatively unorthodox stat in debates like this. Reach. In any fight, but especially fistfights, the distance that a fighter can attack is a serious advantage, even when it's just a matter of a few
Yeah,
inches.
we never really talked
A
about
boxer's
reach all that
range
much.
is measured from fingertip to fingertip, and someone Little Mac size
That is
would
very
have an
important,
average
especially
range of
for
just under 5 feet.
If you, for all you OG Dragon Ball fans out there, was the deciding factor in Goku versus Jackie Chun.
Compare that to Min Min, who even without her extendable arms would have a height advantage. But with her arms stretching out nearly 35 feet on both sides, this
He's
gives
crazy.
her a 70-foot range, which becomes a serious advantage. And that's without talking about the fighter's physicality either. Little Mac was undoubtedly strong, but his full power star punches require him to have some setup, which if you remember requires 4 punches in a row. 3 to set up the attack, and 1 for the star punch itself. In order for Little Mac to take Min Min out of the fight, he'd need to land about 193 fully powered star punches, which comes out to a total of nearly 800 uninterrupted punches. While if Min Min was able to hit him a single time,
If I'd remembered what the kilojoules were for Lil Mac, I probably would have said Min Min.
he would need to start his star punch over from 0 again, setting him back. But also, a single hit from Min Min would kill him almost immediately. This is extra dangerous for Little Mac if he were to ever try blocking an attack rather than slipping out of the way, since the deadly force would still be connected.
I think it's fun when
Just
they
one
compare
hit
the amount of
would take Mac out the
punches
fight
it would
altogether.
require
This
for them to
advantage was
beat
only
each other.
furthered by the fact that Mac normally held a small speed advantage over Min Min, but if she activated her rush mode, she would suddenly surpass Mac to over double what he could perform. It is possible that Little Mac could pick up on her weaknesses and jab her arms 3 times while they're out in order to disable them and get some solid hits, but remember that Mac would still need to get almost 800 of these before Min Min gets a single one, which would be extra tricky with her close-ranged options like kicking. And even then, this only disables her arms for 2 seconds. Mac could also
Now, question is, when Min Min comes back for round 2, what the hell are they going to talk about next? Because she literally has 1 game to pull from.
It's unlikely that he'd be able to get anywhere close to being able to do this.
Yeah, I like the
While
facial
Little Mac
expressions
is
a lot.
extremely skilled and he's taken down incredibly tricky opponents, Min Min has fought her way to the top of a global tournament through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fighters, at a bare minimum. And just like Mac's opponents, these foes had tricks up their sleeves, like teleporting or
I think it's safe to
otherwise
assume that
mixing
she
up
had to
their attacks.
qualify like everyone
Min Min
else.
just proved to be too much of a pasta powerhouse for Little Mac to overcome. At the end of the
Well
day,
done, Min Min.
Min Min is the winner and will be moving on to the next round of the Smash Bracket. Next time on the Smash Bracket.
Yes. Hey, Pikmin. Isn't Olimar like 5 inches tall? Prime Plant's just gonna eat him. Aw. Ooh.
Another round of ramen, please.
Hey, Lucario. Nice. Min Min will return. Is she gonna fight Terry Bogard next? All right. Yeah, I really liked that one. It was very nicely animated. I thought the voice actors did a good job. Oh, hey, Vera. I know you. Oh, that. Dude, I didn't realize that was Titanium as Biff. Like, good job, man. I know both of those guys. And the analyses were very fun, like retrospectives of their stories, and I liked the storytelling overall here. It was a lot of fun. I really, really think this is one of the better Smash Bracket episodes, I would say. It's definitely up there for me. I still think, like, my favorite one is still probably Ness versus Pokemon Trainer at the moment, but this definitely did a really good job, for sure. So, looking forward to seeing how they're gonna pull off an Olimar fight. It's just, I mean, they have to take the size difference into account, obviously. And Mario versus Mega Man, I'm sure that's going to be a fun little rematch as well. So I'm looking forward to those. Hope you all will join me for that. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video. Take care.